First contact and diplomatic tensions. The vast expanse of space had never felt so small to Captain Elena Reyes as she stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable starship. The holographic display before her showed a dizzying array of alien vessels, each more bizarre and beautiful than the last. This was humanity's formal introduction to the Galactic Confederation, and the weight of representing her entire species pressed heavily on Elena's shoulders. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the Confederation flagship," Lieutenant Aiden Chen reported, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "They're requesting permission to send a delegation aboard." Elena took a deep breath, straightening her uniform. "Grant them permission, Lieutenant, and alert Dr. Patel and Ambassador Okafor. It's showtime." As the alien delegation materialized in the Horizon's reception area, Elena found herself face-to-face with a breathtaking diversity of life forms. The leader of the group, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and 4 arms, stepped forward. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious trill that seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. "I am High Counselor Zigzags of the Galactic Confederation. We welcome you to the greater cosmic community." Ambassador Chioma Okafor, a statuesque woman with close-cropped silver hair, bowed slightly. "High Counselor, on behalf of humanity, we are honored by your welcome. I am Ambassador Chioma Okafor, and this is Captain Elena Reyes and Dr. Usha Patel, our chief xenobiologist." As pleasantries were exchanged, Dr. Patel couldn't contain her scientific curiosity. "High Counselor, if I may ask, how are we communicating so effortlessly? Our linguistic databases couldn't possibly account for the diversity of languages we're encountering." A smaller, crab-like being with glowing appendages clicked its pincers. "Ah, the joy of new species and their questions. I am Vex Trill, xenolinguistics specialist. We use a psychic field translator attuned to brainwave patterns. Quite efficient, though it does take some getting used to." Elena noticed Dr. Patel's eyes light up with excitement, and she made a mental note to keep the enthusiastic scientist in check. They couldn't afford any diplomatic missteps. As the delegation toured the horizon, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The aliens were polite, even friendly, but there was an undercurrent of tension she couldn't quite place. Her suspicions were confirmed during the formal dinner in the ship's mess hall, as the human crew showcased Earth cuisine to their alien guests. A tall, reptilian being named Shalik hissed in displeasure. "You serve us a flesh of other creatures." Shalik's scales rippled in what Elena interpreted as disgust. Such barbarism is unexpected from a species advanced enough for space travel. Ambassador Okafor quickly intervened. "We apologize for any offense, Delegate Shalik. We have a wide variety of plant-based dishes available as well. Our goal is to share our culture, not to cause distress." High Counselor Zigzags' skin shifted to a deep blue. "Peace, Shalik. Remember the Confederation's primary tenet. Diversity in all its forms must be respected. The humans cannot be expected to know all our customs." The dinner continued, but the easy camaraderie of earlier had evaporated. Elena exchanged worried glances with her senior staff. This was not going as smoothly as they had hoped. Later that evening, as the alien delegation prepared to return to their ship, another incident occurred. Lieutenant Chen, in an attempt to be friendly, tried to shake hands with a gaseous being contained within a translucent sphere. "Lieutenant, no," Dr. Patel called out, but it was too late. Chen's hand passed through the being's containment field, causing it to emit a high-pitched shriek and rapidly change colors. "How dare you?" a nearby alien bellowed, its multiple eyes blinking in rapid succession. "You violated Zephyrian personal space. This is an act of aggression." Chaos erupted in the reception area. Aliens argued among themselves, some defending the humans' ignorance, others calling for immediate sanctions. Elena felt the situation spiraling out of control. "Enough." Ambassador Okafor's voice cut through the cacophony. All eyes, stalks, and sensory organs turned to her. Esteemed delegates of the Galactic Confederation, we humbly apologize for any offense we have caused. It was not our intent to disrespect or harm anyone. We are here to learn, to grow, and to become part of this grand cosmic tapestry you have woven. She paused, her gaze sweeping the room. But I must also ask for your patience and understanding. Humanity has dreamed of this moment for centuries, the day you would know we are not alone in the universe. We come with open hearts and minds, eager to learn your ways. But we will make mistakes. We will stumble. This is the nature of growth and learning. High Counselor Zigzag stepped forward, its skin now a swirling mix of colors. Ambassador Okafor speaks wisely. Let us not judge too harshly. After all, each of our species had their own difficult introductions to galactic society. The humans show great potential. They have achieved faster-than-light travel independently, a feat not accomplished by a new species in over 10 millennia. The tension in the room gradually dissipated, replaced by a cautious curiosity. Aliens began approaching the human crew again, this time asking questions about Earth, human culture, and their hopes for the future. As the night wore on, Elena found herself in conversation with Vex Trill, the xenolinguistics specialist. Your species is quite fascinating, Captain, the crab-like being mused. Such a contradiction of violence and compassion, curiosity and caution. You remind me of the ancient Proxians, though I hope your story has a happier ending. The Proxians? Elena inquired, intrigued. I don't believe they've been mentioned before. Vex Trill's pincers clicked rapidly, a gesture Elena was beginning to associate with discomfort. Ah, well, that's a rather sensitive topic. Perhaps it's best left for another time. Before Elena could press further, alarms blared throughout the ship. Lieutenant Chen's voice came over the intercom, tight with tension. Captain to the bridge immediately. We're picking up multiple unidentified vessels on an intercept course. They're not responding to hails. Elena locked eyes with High Counselor Zigzag, whose skin had paled to an almost translucent white. It seems, Captain, the alien leader said gravely, that your species' introduction to galactic politics is about to become far more complicated than we had anticipated. As Elena rushed to the bridge, her mind raced. First contact, diplomatic tensions, and now a potential hostile encounter, all within the span of a few hours. Whatever was coming, she knew that humanity's first steps into the galactic community would be remembered for generations to come. The only question was, would they be remembered as a triumph or a cautionary tale? The threat emerges. Captain Elena Reyes burst onto the bridge of the UAS Horizon, her heart pounding. The holographic display was alive with activity, showing a swarm of sleek, predatory-looking ships rapidly approaching their position. Status report, she barked, sliding into her command chair. Lieutenant Chen's fingers flew over his console. 15 unknown vessels, Captain. They're not matching any Confederation designs in our database. They'll be within weapons range in 3 minutes. High Counselor Zigzag glided onto the bridge, its skin a swirling maelstrom of dark colors. By the cosmic winds, it breathed. It's the Vraxexi. The who? Elena demanded, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. A species we had hoped you would never have to encounter, Zigzag said grimly. They are the scourge of the galaxy, conquerors who see other life forms as nothing more than resources to be exploited or eradicated. Ambassador Okafor, who had followed Zigzag to the bridge, stepped forward. Why haven't we heard of them before? Surely this would have been important information to share during our introduction to galactic politics. Vex Trill, scuttling in behind them, clicked its pincers nervously. The Confederation Council decided it would be best not to overwhelm new species with the harsher realities of our galaxy immediately. In hindsight, perhaps that was unwise. Elena felt a surge of anger at the aliens' paternalistic attitude, but she pushed it aside. There were more pressing matters at hand. Counselor Zigzag, what can you tell us about their capabilities? How do we defend against them? The alien leader's skin pulsed with streaks of red. Their technology is formidable. They possess weapons that can disable our shields and disrupt our neural networks. Many Confederation worlds have fallen to their surprise attacks. Captain, Lieutenant Chen interrupted. We're being hailed. Elena squared her shoulders. On screen. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that sent shivers down Elena's spine. The Vraxexi commander was a nightmarish fusion of organic and mechanical parts, with multiple cybernetic eyes and a cruel, serrated smile. Ah, the newest pets of the Confederation, the Vraxexi sneered, its voice a grating metallic rasp. How fortunate for us to find you here, ripe for harvesting. Your bodies will make excellent raw material for our bioforges. Elena felt her crew's fear and disgust, but she kept her voice steady. This is Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We have no quarrel with you. State your intentions and withdraw from Confederation space immediately. The Vraxexi commander's laughter was like grinding gears. Intentions? Little creature, our intention is to strip your ship for parts and use your bodies to fuel our conquest. The Confederation has grown weak, hiding behind their precious laws and diplomacy. The galaxy belongs to the strong, and we are strength incarnate. As the transmission cut off, Elena turned to her alien guests. I need options now. How do we fight these monsters? High Counselor Zigzag's skin had gone almost entirely black. Fight. Captain, you don't understand. The Vraxexi cannot be reasoned with or defeated in conventional battle. Our only hope is to flee and warn the Confederation. Elena felt a spark of defiance ignite within her. With all due respect, Counselor, running and hiding doesn't seem to have worked out well for the Confederation so far. There has to be a way to stand up to these bullies. Dr. Aisha Patel, who had been quietly analyzing data from her science station, suddenly spoke up. Captain, I've been studying the sensor readings of the Vraxexi ships. Their biomechanical technology is incredibly advanced, but it might also be their weakness. All eyes turned to the xenobiologist. Explain, Doctor, Elena urged. Their ships seem to be partly alive, Patel continued, her eyes shining with the thrill of discovery. They're not just using organic components, the ships themselves appear to have a form of collective consciousness. If we could disrupt that neural network— Impossible, Vex Trill chittered. The Vraxexi neural defenses are impenetrable. Many have tried to exploit this theoretical weakness. All have failed. Elena felt a smile tugging at her lips. If there was one thing humans excelled at, it was achieving the impossible. Dr. Patel, what would you need to create such a disruption? As Patel outlined her idea, a daring plan involving a modified version of Earth's electromagnetic pulse technology combined with Confederation's psychic field generators, Elena saw hope rekindling in the eyes of her alien guests. It's audacious, High Counselor Zigzag mused, its skin lightening slightly. But even if Dr. Patel's device works, how would we deploy it? The Vraxexi would destroy any ship or probe long before it got close enough. Elena's mind raced, piecing together a plan. We'll need a distraction, something big enough to draw their attention while a smaller team sneaks in to deploy the device. Ambassador Okofa's eyes widened. Captain, you can't be suggesting. A direct assault, Elena confirmed. The Horizon will engage the Vraxexi fleet head-on, while a small team takes our shuttle to deliver the payload. The bridge erupted in a cacophony of protests and arguments. Elena let it wash over her for a moment before raising her hand for silence. I understand your concerns, she said, her voice calm but steely. But consider this. If we run, we doom not only ourselves, but countless other worlds to the Vraxexi's tyranny. This may be our only chance to strike a meaningful blow against them. We have the element of surprise and a weapon they won't be expecting. She turned to High Counselor Zigzag. You said earlier that humanity reminded you of the ancient Proxians. What happened to them? Zigzag's skin rippled with sadness. The Proxians were a young, ambitious species, much like yours. They refused to accept the limitations the galaxy tried to impose on them. They fought the Vraxexi with everything they had, but in the end, they were wiped out, their homeworld shattered. Elena nodded solemnly. Then we'll finish what they started. We'll show the galaxy that standing up to bullies isn't just possible, it's necessary. As the gravity of the situation settled over the bridge, Elena began issuing orders. Dr. Patel and a team of engineers would work around the clock to create the neural disruptor. Lieutenant Chen would plot an attack vector that would keep the Vraxexi's attention focused on the horizon, and a volunteer team would be assembled for the high-risk shuttle mission. As preparations got underway, Ambassador Okafor approached Elena privately. "Captain, I hope you understand the magnitude of what you're proposing. If this fails, humanity's first contact with galactic civilization could also be our last." Elena met the ambassador's gaze steadily. "And if we succeed, we'll have proven that humanity has something unique to offer the galaxy. Courage, innovation, and the willingness to stand up for what's right, no matter the odds." As the ambassador nodded and turned to leave, Elena felt the weight of command settling heavily on her shoulders. She was about to risk everything: her ship, her crew, and potentially the future of human-alien relations, on a desperate gamble. But as she looked around at her crew working feverishly to prepare for the coming battle, she saw determination in their eyes. They understood the stakes, and they were ready to face whatever came next. Elena took a deep breath and turned her attention to the tactical display. The Vraxexi fleet was closing in, unaware that they were about to face an enemy unlike any they had encountered before. In just a few short hours, the fate of not just the horizon, but possibly the entire galaxy would be decided. As she began to outline the battle plan to her officers, Elena allowed herself a small, grim smile. The Vraxexi thought they were about to harvest a helpless new species. Instead, they were about to learn a harsh lesson about underestimating humanity. The stage was set, the pieces were in motion, and the greatest battle in Earth's young interstellar history was about to begin. The UES horizon hummed with nervous energy as final preparations for Operation Nexus were completed. Dr. Patel's team had worked tirelessly to create the neural disruptor, a hybrid of human and alien technology that they hoped would turn the tide against the Vraxexi. Captain Elena Reyes addressed the combined human and alien crew one last time before battle. "What we do today will echo across the stars. Remember, we're not just fighting for Earth or the Confederation. We're fighting for the right of all species to live free from tyranny." As the Horizon engaged the Vraxexi fleet in a daring frontal assault, a small shuttle carrying the neural disruptor slipped away, piloted by Lieutenant Chen. Alongside him were Dr. Patel and, surprisingly, High Counselor Zixax, who had volunteered despite the danger. The battle was fierce. The Horizon's human-designed shields held against weapons that had decimated Confederation fleets, but they were slowly being overwhelmed. Elena gritted her teeth, knowing they just needed to buy a little more time. On the shuttle, Chen expertly weaved through the chaos of battle. As they approached the Vraxexi mothership, Zixax used its psychic abilities to cloak them from enemy sensors. Dr. Patel, her hands shaking slightly, prepared the disruptor for deployment. Just as it seemed the Horizon couldn't take any more punishment, Chen's voice crackled over the comm. "Package delivered, Captain. Get clear." Elena didn't need to be told twice. "All power-tit engines. Get us out of here." The neural disruptor activated, sending waves of electromagnetic and psychic energy rippling through the Vraxexi fleet. The effect was immediate and catastrophic. The biomechanical ships writhed in space, their neural networks overloaded and confused. As the human and Confederation forces regrouped, they watched in awe as the mighty Vraxexi armada fell into disarray. Ships collided with one another, weapons fired randomly into space, and distress calls echoed across all frequencies. The battle was over almost as quickly as it had begun. The remaining Vraxexi ships, their collective consciousness shattered, fled into the depths of space. As cheers erupted across the Horizon's bridge, Elena felt a mix of relief, pride, and uncertainty. They had won the day, but at what cost? And how would this victory change humanity's place in the galactic community? High Counselor Zigzax, its skin now a brilliant, shimmering gold, approached Elena. Captain Reyes, you and your crew have done the impossible. You've given hope to a galaxy that had all but surrendered to despair. Elena nodded solemnly. Thank you, Counselor, but this is just the beginning. The HFY will be back, and next time they'll be ready for us. We need to prepare. As the Horizon limped back to the nearest Confederation outpost for repairs, Elena knew that everything had changed. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage not with tentative steps, but with a resounding declaration of their capabilities and their values. The next phase of their journey into the cosmic community was about to begin, and Elena couldn't help but feel a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Whatever came next, one thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same. The battle for unity shortened. In the weeks following the HFY encounter, the UES Horizon became a symbol of hope and controversy in the Galactic Confederation. Captain Elena Reyes and her crew found themselves at the center of a political storm as various factions debated the implications of humanity's actions. During a tense Confederation Council meeting, Elena stood before representatives of 1,000 worlds. We understand that our methods were unorthodox, she said, her voice steady. But the threat demanded immediate action. We're here as partners, ready to share our technology and strategies. The council chamber erupted into chaos. Some species hailed humans as saviors, while others viewed them as dangerous upstarts. As the debate raged, alarms blared throughout the station. The HFY had returned, with an armada twice the size of their previous force. High Counselor Zigzax's skin paled. They've adapted to our defenses. We're doomed. Elena's eyes narrowed. No, we're not. But we need to work together. She quickly outlined a plan, combining Confederation psychic shielding with modified human EMP technology and tactics from various alien military doctrines. As the HFY fleet engaged, the Confederation's united defense took shape. The Horizon led a diverse squadron of ships, each contributing unique abilities to the battle strategy. Dr. Patel coordinated with alien scientists, refining their countermeasures in real time. The battle was fierce. HFY ships punched through their lines, and for a moment, it seemed all was lost. But Elena's voice rang out across the comm channels. Stand fast. We didn't come this far to give up now. For Earth, for the Confederation, for all free beings, push them back. Her words ignited a spark of determination across the Allied fleet. Ships that had been retreating turned to make last stands. Races that had been ancient enemies covered each other's flanks. In the face of annihilation, the Confederation found unity. The tide turned. One by one, HFY ships fell to the combined might of the Allied forces. As the last enemy vessels fled or surrendered, a stunned silence fell over the battlefield, soon replaced by cheers and celebrations in 100 different languages. In the aftermath, Elena found herself approached by aliens of all shapes and sizes, offering thanks, congratulations, and in some cases, apologies for their initial doubts. High Counselor Zigzax, its skin a riot of joyous colors, addressed the assembled fleet. Today, we have witnessed the birth of a new era. The HFY sought to exploit our differences, but instead, they have unified us as never before, and we owe much of this to our new human allies. As Elena looked out at the sea of diverse beings, all cheering together, she realized that humanity had found its place in the cosmos. They weren't just explorers or diplomats. They were catalysts for change, bringers of hope, and now integral members of a galactic family. The battle was over, but the real work of building a stronger, more united confederation was just beginning. And humanity would be at the forefront, ready to face whatever challenges the universe had in store. A new galactic era. 1 year after the decisive battle against the HFY, Captain Elena Reyes stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, the newly constructed headquarters of the reformed Galactic Confederation. The sprawling space station was a marvel of cooperative engineering, blending architectural styles and technologies from dozens of species, including humanity's contributions. Elena watched as ships of all shapes and sizes docked and departed, a testament to the new era of interstellar cooperation. Her own vessel, the UES Horizon, was undergoing its final upgrades, incorporating the best of what the galaxy had to offer. "Quite a view, isn't it, Captain?" The melodious voice of High Counselor Zixax rang in her mind as the alien glided up beside her. Elena smiled. "It never gets old. A year ago, I couldn't have imagined anything like this." Zixax's skin shimmered with thoughtful hues. "Your species has catalyzed remarkable changes, Elena. The Confederation is stronger and more united than ever before, yet challenges remain." As if on cue, a holographic alert appeared before them, showing reports of unusual activity at the fringes of known space. "The universe is vast and full of wonders and dangers we yet to encounter," Elena mused. "But whatever's out there, we'll face it together." Nodded, its colors shifting to reflect determination and hope. "Indeed, the Nexus Protocol you proposed, combining the strengths of all our peoples, has transformed not just our defenses, but our entire society." Elena's badge chirped, and Lieutenant Chen's voice came through. "Captain, the Horizon is prepped and ready for departure. The multinational crew is awaiting your arrival." "Duty calls," Elena said with a mix of excitement and nostalgia. "There's a whole galaxy out there waiting to be explored." As she turned to leave, Zixax extended one of its appendages in the human gesture of a handshake, which Elena reciprocated with a grin. "Safe travels, Captain Reyes," the High Counselor said warmly. "May you continue to bring light to the darkest corners of our universe." Elena nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of adventure in equal measure. As she walked towards the docking bay where the Horizon waited, she knew that humanity's greatest journey was just beginning. The stars were no longer distant points of light, but beacons of endless possibility. With a spring in her step, Captain Elena Reyes headed towards her ship, ready to write the next chapter in humanity's cosmic odyssey.